Hey guys, doing some more work on the bike. Some of the issues that I haven't straightened out would be these seat wheel well. Actually, I don't know if there was an actual battery that was supposed to be in there or not. I think this bike originally was 48 volts, and Buddy went and put a battery in there and overvolted it. As you can see, I guess the bottom came out of the seat container there, and so he cut some holes in the side and put two pieces of wood to hold the battery in. That's the battery that was in it. It's 24 volt lead acid. What I want to do is I want to use the 24 or the 48 volts that are in the bottom. They're 20 amps, and then my 48 volts of lithium. They're 20 amps. In series, you get about 99.5 volts. I'm not going to show you, but it does work. It does about 73. One of the issues I had with the controller was overvolting protection. It wouldn't come up. So what I'm going to do is I was going to put a pot or a resistor on the low side and drop the voltage down to 80 to fool the controller into thinking it's 80 when it's really 99.5. But I found with the pot it got warm, and eventually that's going to fail and it's going to leave me dead in the water. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm just going to take this wire off. I'm going to run another wire down, and when I run this cable out down here that will plug into my 48 volt lithium pack, I'll run an extra wire or an extra lead off the pack, and I'll basically run that wire right to the pack, and we'll just basically just go right off the battery there and give it a 80 volts. Like, you can basically just jumper it off each cell until you get 80 volts, and that will fool the controller. So it'll be 80 volts on the low side, and on the high side it's 99.5, and that's not fresh off the charger. That's like after they've been discharged a bit. It's still 99.5. So I'll have to be careful when I first plug it in. I guess I could show you. Nope. Let me do this. There's going to be sparks. Okay, hopefully that'll work just for the test. Yep. There you go. 99.5. And the throttle. 74. So it does work. We'll have to see how the voltage regulator fares, but I think it's rated for about 99.5 or 90.5 volts. So we should be all right there. I'm not worried about the controller. It's an 80 volt controller, so you're looking at almost 100 volts there. So yeah, we're just gonna bypass this. I'm gonna use this for storage. I'm definitely not gonna store a battery on that. That's all I need, is the battery to fall through that and hit the back wheel and lodge in there. I would pretty much lose it and hit the curb or worse, so that wouldn't be good. So let's finish wiring it up. Okay, so we got the old wiring harness out, and I got a semi-permanent wire there wired up. It's not soldered or anything. I got the low voltage lead coming out, and what I'll do is I tie it into the battery, and then I'll cut it and put a connector on it, so when you plug that in, you plug this into it as well. So going by the battery, this is your positive here, and this is your negative over here. So you want to go halfway. So I would say right about here would be 80 volts. Yeah, 48 plus another 24. So you go right off of there. It's going from the negative, how about the positive to the negative? That's the negative there. So when we do that, hopefully I can show you with one hand. As you can see, nothing will happen. Nothing there. But if we take the lead and we put it on the battery, there won't be a spark because there's no real load. Just monitor. Just set it there. There we go. Come on. Sorry about that, I wasn't prepared. Or not. Give me a second. Okay, I think I got it. There you go. And it's still at 99.5. It's all ready to rock and roll. I got my big chunky Anderson connector on there again. And then I used a small low voltage one for the sense wire. I didn't bother putting anything high end on it because it doesn't really carry much voltage in this. I got a ton of these old ones that are old and ratty, so they're good enough for this purpose. I keep this bag in a bag. It's this one here. So when it's sitting on there, you won't see any of the cable. And I put my feet on each side and we're good to go. So I never put my feet in the center anyway, so that's about it, guys. See you in the next one.